Bro, it is Vince Russo. And listen, bro, the Workers Club podcast, bro. It is Larry and Gus and Wilson doing all the work.
It's the Workers Club. Oh man, I'm on a new computer. It's already on the old one. It was like delayed. This is all great. Big monitor. There we go. I can see everybody. Feeling good. Workers Club 124. Wilson, Larry, Gus. Does anybody have anything they want to get off their chest? No one reviewed the show after the ask for it. Not one person. Not even Colin.
No one did what?
Reviewed the show. I want some more stars, and I want more reviews.
Okay, I'll get on that.
We see the insights, or whatever you want to call it, the analytics. There's people watching all over this country and all over the world. Come on now. People, you'll see somebody just going through their little, one book, one episode after the other.
It's the way it happens, if it happens.
Hey, we're clocking it.
You want me to try to get Hornbaker?
I think we could. I
don't care if you think we can. I'll get him if we can.
Oh.
I'm just saying, do you want him?
Yeah, or me. Hey, look, I can get him. I think.
Do it then. Okay. I mean, you're on the loose guy.
It's
so you have
he
some
is
legitimacy behind. No, I don't know what he's on. I'm just saying, so you at least have something official.
I already have questions for him, locked and loaded.
All right, good.
He's gonna end it and go, "My God, that was a better interview than Dave Meltzer ever had with me."
What are you getting on your steak? Or what's your question?
I haven't written any of those yet. Maybe I can ask him like a White Sox question, like build your dream White Sox team. You got AJ Przinsky in there.
What about Carlton Fisk though? Oh my God, I could play this game for
see there you
Harold
go.
Haynes.
That's a touchy subject.
No, is Tim from Chicago, or is he just like the White Sox because he wrote about him?
Nurko at first, and I'm taking Big Hurt at DH.
Ooh, man, that's a good lineup then.
Okay,
no Adam Dunn.
No, we're not. No, thank you.
Nurko was one of those. I hated the way that guy looked. I just didn't like it, like his hair and everything. And AJ Przinsky also was a part of that. Where it's just like, God, your faces.
Przinsky had a face.
He has probably the most punchable face in sports.
But somebody said that about Pedro Martinez, the Red Sox. I'd say I understand. He also, especially when he started doing the shoulder length hair, the kind of like bob almost.
Yeah, Pedro's so good though. You gotta respect him. Where like AJ, it's like he's a good player, but it's not like he's a generation.
Yeah. He's annoying. Like Jorge Posada to me was annoying. You're not only are you look like that, but then you're also annoying. Now I'm just thinking about annoying baseball players. Also going to show my bias. A lot of them. John Olerud. How about that?
Ooh.
Is it because of the helmet?
A little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. No, it's for his health. Understand the whole concept.
Ooh, I need a helmet while I run the bases. Look at me.
What if a baseball hit my head? I understand. Anybody else? I'm trying to think of somebody I did not like. Oh, you know who I didn't like on the Red Sox? Who was annoying? Clay Buchholz. Oh no, and also Bronson Arroyo because he started doing the dreads. I'm sorry, I can't abide. Do you remember Bronson Arroyo doing the dreads? Not the dreads. It was like the cornrows. No, it wasn't dreads. It was cornrows.
I never cared for Joey Votto.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know which former Red Sox settled in Cleveland? Ellis Burks.
Oh, that's a name.
I was gonna say, is it Euclid from Ohio?
I think we did his house once. Or we were supposed to, something like that, yeah.
I was just talking about my brother getting Johnny Pesky's autograph, and you're supposed to have a book and bring the book to him, buy the book, and then he'll sign it. And my brother was like, I'm not buying this fucking book. And, you know, at this point, Pesky was ancient. And so he just put a ball in front of Pesky. And the guy, his handler, was like, you need a book. And then Pesky took the ball and signed it because he's ancient and doesn't know where he is. And my brother just went, well, he signed it. And then we moved along.
I wish we got like all the money in the world and got paid for this, because I would love to venture off into like bullshit baseball books or football books.
There's got to be
I want to do Tony Dungy's book just so I can get all that out of my system.
Oh boy.
Steve Lombardi, has he written a book? Because he's technically Knuckleball Schwartz, right?
Oh, get it. Come on.
That's a connection to that. We can move into that. If he references somebody, look, okay.
Does Dale Torberg have a book?
We'll do it right now. I don't care. Are you familiar with Buster Olney being mad at that guy that's social media, like John Boy Media? You know, he would do like little recaps or little like, you know, analyzation. Oh boy, analyst.
Peter Gammons wrote about Bruno's retirement in the paper.
There you go.
Is Peter Gammon still alive?
Good question. I know the last few times I saw him on TV.
Once a year, and he's always still alive. And I'm always
the last few times I saw him on TV. Oh my god!
Wow,
he's only 80.
He looks so old, but he's always looked old.
I mean, listen. Look at his Wikipedia picture. Look at his teeth. Now add 15 years to those, because that's in 2010.
I know.
Last
few times I saw him on television, I was like, stop putting him on TV. Or why are you punishing this old man? Let him relax.
Did you see fucking Bowtie bitch knock over the camera guy? Did you guys see that clip over
the weekend? Ken Rosenthal. What an idiot. He glared at him.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
Why are you glaring at him?
He's tiny too. He's a short one.
Sudi would do the same thing, by the way. If he bumped into somebody, he's glaring. Yeah.
Oh, that video. Okay, I did see that. Oh, you're right. He is a little guy.
This was Buster Olney's thing was
he won't have to do the splits when he's interviewing someone.
He does do the squat. I know. Why don't WWE should just hire him?
We hire Ken Rosenthal.
Did they change his name even though he's established?
Ken
Rogers.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. He's got to know when to hold him. He's got to know when to hold him.
Real quick though, this was funny because it reminded me of like wrestling, like the things Dave Meltzer gets into. Buster Olney had been calling for this John Boy guy. He's calling for him to apologize for days on social media, and the issue was that guy had covered that Buster Olney had done an interview with Chapman, Araldis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know how they don't do hand signals anymore. They do the
clicker.
They got a thing in their ear, and he had said he had heard in his ear inside fastball, and he said, because he's talking about how well he's doing this year, and he just went, I never thought about throwing a fastball on the inside or outside. I always just threw it as hard as I can down the middle. And Buster Olney published it and didn't question it. And all this guy was saying was, that's impossible. It's impossible that he doesn't know about placing his pitch.
Yeah.
And Buster only got mad. And because the guy was like, maybe he was just doing like a jokey, thing about, just, and then.
Yeah.
Buster Olney just didn't pursue it. Buster Olney
If the fucking guy didn't know how to aim, why would the catcher even move when he's pitching? We'd be able to know that by now. The catcher would stay in the middle if that was true.
Buster Olney went Dave Meltzer, where he was like, "How dare you? You think I got pranked? You think I've been in this business this long and I can't sniff out a prank?" And this guy was like, "Look," he put out a little 11-minute video. It's like, I don't think you got. I'm just saying. All I'm saying." And he looked up old videos of himself where he's like, "Look, Chapman just right there shook off an inside and said, no, I don't want to do an inside pitch." He knows.
Mm-hmm.
And he even asked Aaron Boone.
I watch him, but I'm a little scared. I'm tentative. You know what I mean?
Like
it crossing into like a Bleacher Report or like not Bleacher Report, but Barstool Sports sort of thing.
TMZ Sports.
I mean, he is a Yankees fan. I mean,
and he's taking money now. Like MLB is invested. That's a little suspect.
But man, all the years Buster Olney just get. But he played a clip
Buster Olney
Buster Olney.
sucks.
He lives in Wyoming.
That makes sense.
I was like, what?
Him and Bischoff. That's where you go when nobody likes you, and you just say you like the freedom.
Good Lord, the travel to cover his beats. Let's start off with some light news. This is how Fightful reported that Robert Redford has died today. Robert Redford, inspiration behind Bret Hart's signature catchphrase, passes away at age 89.
Come on. You ghouls. Like,
Robert Redford's trending.
My gimmick... Sean always has, like, sometimes he'll make this plea. It's like a pasted text. Support original content creators. Subscribe to Fightful. So whenever Fightful runs something stupid like that, or like Sasha Banks' favorite move is the Boston Crab, I'll just write underneath original content.
He's been going off lately about he does it maybe every 3 months, couple months, where he'll go off about
pasting.
Yeah, stealing his content. And I'm telling you, this guy's so shady with his moves against Dave Meltzer. It's absurd.
That's why I still can't decide which side. Because, right, I'll troll him, but then he'll like some shit that I post. And I'm always like, I don't know if I should work an angle with them or not.
I think he suffers from a lot of people suffer from, and we do not suffer from, which is he's too online.
Yeah,
he's too online a little bit. Don't have to be so online. Hey, look. You know what I like? You know what I'm getting traction with on Blue Sky? Warren Hayes. There you go. He's always right there liking everything. Appreciate it. He's also out there trying. He's streaming. He's trying.
I got a couple people who like everything on Twitter, and I if I could remember them, I'd shout them out. But
so there's that Robert Redford, and you know this shows how much I remember from the books. It's apparently in Bret's book. He says that he pulled that line from The Natural. Don't remember that.
I vaguely remember that. That's a Bret movie.
It is. What did you think about Indecent Proposal, Bret? You know he's into that. He's picturing himself as, of course, the Robert Redford character, not Woody Harrelson getting cucked. Hulk Hogan, Linda, the Emmys were this last week in there. Hulk Hogan got snubbed, Linda says, because he's a Republican and he did the speech at the RNC.
What was he up for?
No. In the in memoriam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They didn't put Hulk Hogan up there.
Put a wrestler in the in memoriam?
Not that I can recall.
I'm trying to think of anybody that died.
I guess Thunder in Paradise was a TV series.
Nah, come on. That was fucking one syndicated season. No, because I thought about this today. I'm like, wrestling him on Nitro would be the biggest TV presence he had.
Hey, he was
Maybe
on,
that merits
he
it,
was
I
on
don't know.
TV for 30 years.
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, Raw,
Oh, that's
Nitro.
true. I don't know why I
He's
don't
been
consider
on.
that.
He's been a
The Rock
TV
and
star for
Wrestling
years.
Cartoon,
Watch him be on the Oscars
I guess
in the
so.
morning.
Okay, I'll say he deserved it.
American Gladiators reboot.
He deserved it. People would have cheered. They're all sickos. The Hollywood cabal. So there you go. I like that Linda still. She talked to Entertainment Weekly about this. And then of course she's throwing it out there, going, "I can't prove it." Well, of course you can't, Linda. Kevin Nash has moved on though from Hogan. He's concerned about The Rock's health, weight loss, health loss. That's I'm leaning into it here because number one, I know that he's an absolute musclehead. I mean, he loves to work out. He lives to work out. So you're not going to drop 60 pounds. I mean, he showed up at Venice and it was like, bam. Nobody has seen him before that. I mean, where the fuck has Dwayne been to lose that much weight that quickly?
I got to think it's pretty easy because you know the insane calorie intake you need to stay that big.
Yeah, just stop eating the fucking buffet of food from that article where he went into the
probably
hotel.
Lose 10 pounds in a week just eating like a normal person.
Eating like his weight loss, or whatever you want to call it, being a normal person, or still having Barry Bonds' head. But what's concerning is when they did the article on him and he was like, "Oh, I have to go to this other room in the hotel where they have all my food laid out," and it was a buffet essentially of all of his meals for the day. That's insane. That's insane behavior. You should not have a table of food of like proteins and vegetables that you have to eat at certain time.
It's nutty.
And then you know what Kevin Nash said about Rock's sunken eyes? They scare him. He's scared for The Rock. Is this guy like a Paul operative?
He seems to be getting weirder, like with the Becky stuff and this now.
Dude.
Well, all his friends are dying.
Yeah,
is that what happens when your friends die? You start
he's just looking at that
in?
AI image of himself with Scott and Hulk and thinking.
And here's where it ties in because we've done a Sean Oliver book. Sean, you need to rein it in. You can't just let this fucking go. You can't let him start fucking spinning out. You need to be the fucking voice of reason. You need to be reeling him in, going, "Come on, it's not."
Sean's a passive host. He's not like a Conrad. He's got these guys, working for him. Sean's like happy to be there. It feels like.
I was going to argue with you, but then I remembered that Sean scheduled something with us and then was like, "Oh, I have a podcast with Kevin Nash." You forget that you have a podcast to record with Kevin Nash that you do every week.
It was a special watch along for the Patreon for the ad-free shows.
Yeah. So yes, he probably doesn't really care about Kevin's health. He's out there scheduling anything, really. Did everyone watch Triple H, Paul Levesque on Kill Tony?
Briefly, too much F word. He felt like he had to be edgy.
He did. What I was thinking is that he's very. He was coming like, "Oh no, they're gonna talk about me being bald." His first line out of the gate is him insulting himself about being bald. He points at Carrot Top is like sitting down, and he goes,
has hair though, so that wouldn't even be a burn.
He points at Carrot Top and says, "My hair is going to start looking like Carrot Top's, and so that's why I shaved." I said, "Not fuck that. I'm going to shave my head." And Carrot Top went, "Okay." There's a lot of that of just people going, "Okay," like a lot of polite, like this guy's not of our world. There's a lot of Tony Hinchcliffe going, "Ha ha, our next performer."
They have writers for Paul's jokes. Like, did someone have to work on that? Like, that's weird.
He wanted. A lot of it was him pointing to people in the crowd and being like, "You're a virgin. You haven't had sex." There was a lot of that.
I don't think his heart can handle that anymore. So why is he being so judgmental?
You think if he gets any kind of sexual gratification, his heart explodes?
Yeah, I do.
Aggregate that, Wrestling Inc.
Was in better shape than he was.
I was trying to explain how Carrot Top looked to somebody who was like, how's he looking these days? And I was like, okay, He's very old now, so he's got the old man face, but he's still weirdly shredded. Of course, everybody thought that was weird when he got really pumped up. And then his hair, because he's old now, he's dyeing it, so it's like not red or orange, it's like pink. And it's not. I was like, God, what does it look like? It's not straw, but it's like tinsel or something, like bushes of sticking out of a hat. And he wears a hat now because I assume on top it's insane. So I assume that's why he wears a hat. And so he's got like weird, like Jerry Jones face in the front, and then the hair, and then he's still doing the thing where he brought the Cowboys hat or the helmet, and he was like, "This is a new Cowboys helmet." It had Kleenex coming out of it, and I was like, "This is like Tim Conway, like what Dwarf Golf's like type stuff. Like this is tough." And then Paul, look, I took a screen cap into the Discord. That's why you should join the Discord. When there was one guy whose material was just like what a woman shouts at me. A racist woman was shouting at me in the parking lot, and this is what she said. There was no jokes, just him dropping the hard R, and the woman shouting, "You need to eat watermelon," or something like that. Paul's just looking very wistfully at the man as he goes through this bit. Like he's not laughing, but he looks like he's thinking back to his like grandfather bouncing him on his lap in New Hampshire. He just has he's a serene smile on his face as this guy's just dropping N-word after N-word and just racist tropes.
That's funny.
I appreciate this freedom of speech. It's like that. He's like, wow, I wish we could do that. You know, where am I? So to make sure, I want to make sure Paul traveled to Austin, Texas to do this, to be at the mothership, Joe Rogan's comedy club, correct? Like what? To promote WrestlePalooza?
Yeah, subscribe to ESPN.
It's crazy. Like what?
Yeah, you're right. That's not really much of a.
For what? The 100,000 people that watch it?
Who from that audience is now going to subscribe to the ESPN app to watch what? Brock Lesnar versus
That's
Cena?
0. Yes.
Yeah.
0. It's like it's as the kids say, it's clout chasing, is it not?
I mean, we're
he
not
does
talking about a guy who's really secure with himself.
No, he keeps putting himself on doing these interviews and stuff, and he has nothing ever to say. Look, let's talk. He was on the Pat McAfee show.
I think Paul's a guy with no inner monologue. What do you think about that?
Oh, he's one of those guys.
That's yeah.
That's
why he's
insane.
up in the morning trying to book the shows.
That's why he thinks it's so hard for somebody to look at the hard camera. Like, I have to tell this person where to look. I have to tell Finn Balor where to look. That always rings in my mind. I had to tell Finn Balor where to look at hard camera. Oh, yeah, you did? He's never wrestled in front of a camera before, huh?
Well, it's different. The Japanese lenses are...
Yes, they have it on the other side. You look at the other way, his back would have been turned. It's like the toilets in Australia. Triple H was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about how he's the new Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, the presidential, you know, he's part of that now. He's taking the lead on that. And he kind of admits that, you know, in that RFK picture, you know, why he decided to get involved, the current administration. There's a lot of things that need to change here. There's a lot of sickness, a lot of illness that comes out of what we eat. Larry, you've got to find this clip and grab it so we can make like a sound collage of.
Find it for me.
There's a lot of sickness, a lot of illness that comes out of what we eat. And I think that stuff needs to change. I'm a big believer in kids and athletics and sport. Whether that's just training on your own or whether that's being in a sport, doing that stuff sets you up for success in life, not just in that athletic moment. I'm a big believer in that.
Worked on me.
I hate seeing kids on their phones all day, on their iPads all day, not being outside. When I was younger, we were outside all the time. I think what I'm really excited about with the council. Yeah, how old is he? He's like 10 years older than us, I think, right? 15?
Yeah, well, he's Generation X, and I've got beef with Generation X.
Yeah, you're right. That does ring like that.
Guys are. My wife was just complaining about Generation X.
They didn't
Lowers.
turn out good.
Their minds, they were good, and then now their minds have
We
melted.
drank from a hose. Cool, man.
You know what's funny? This is like 2008. I had this really old ass music teacher. He was like ready to retire. And he was just like being wistful one day and talking about like the generations. And someone like asked him something about like, what do you think about us kids, now? He's like, Generation X was the worst. And it's always stuck with me that's what he said. It was unexpected to me at the time.
I think what it is that they were presented, at least in media, and maybe self-presenting as disaffected, on the ball, not going to cynical, not going to participate in this bullshit, and they're falling into the exact same thing of back in my day, music was better. We didn't have cell phones. We went outside and pushed a hoop with a stick, and that was what we did. So he says I think that's what I'm really excited about with this council is getting in front of kids. They're going to pull in front of kids. That's where you start showing them like, hey, you might not be able to do one push-up right now, but we're going to get you to do where you can do one. And then you can do 10, and then you're on your way. And that builds and instills pride. Just doing fucking doing push-ups. A kid in first grade being like, Mom, I just got to do push-ups.
Just being an antisocial freak.
Yeah. Paul Levesque came to my school and says, I got to do push-ups, so that's what I'm doing.
You want to play baseball with us? Doing push-ups.
No. He told me to check out these bodybuilders.
Charles Atlas or
Yeah.
Coleman.
He called me. Now, tomorrow morning, I want my intake to be cereal. Okay. Why are you saying intake?
Throw the bun away, Mom, on those burgers.
Did you know that at the gas station you can get pretty good intake if you want? And then just fine. We'll just do. It was announced. Ian Douglas. They're going to release the Mike Rotunda memoir.
Good job bringing that up.
Yes, it's announced. He's doing it. He look. Can we now say? What is this like? It was like 2 years ago. How long ago was this? Where he said he was like, "Hey, I'm working with Mike Rotunda on this thing. It's got to be, we got to dot the I's, cross the T's." And you know what? It's Ian Douglas. It's probably going to be pretty good.
IRS is one of my favorite wrestling characters.
Dude, he's been around.
His feud with The Undertaker is just brilliant.
And of course, he'll talk about his family and stuff like that. I mean, his sons went on to wrestle and stuff like that. And I mean, the whole family. He's got everybody. It's a cast of characters. Are we going to get some like real good goss? Probably not. If the WWE had to like stamp it, does he work for them still or no? Or I'm sure he has some kind of deal with them or the family or.
Yeah, well, a Legends deal at least, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it's Ian Douglas, look, Ian Douglas was. He suffered through an interview with us as well, where I asked him who's his favorite DC superhero because he's a comic book guy. I don't know. Did I ask him about his steakhouse order? Maybe not. Can't wait to ask Tim Hornbaker about what website he frequents every day, and he gets sweaty. All right, let's get into it. Where did we leave off? We were going to leave off on. Oh, this is going to run long because I think that we're going to hit up the McMahon deposition. Do you remember that, Larry? I sent you that.
Yeah.
Takes a turn. It honestly takes a turn where we need to figure out what they're talking about. After the pictures. New York in a toehold, Chapter 8. Okay. Now I got to look at my old notes.
Shit.
Okay. New York in a toehold. Here we go. Vince McMahon. Okay, there's Jess. Now there's Vincent McMahon, father of Vinnie Mac. He's in Washington, D.C., making a go of it. Here's a problem. He still needs to book boxing matches. That's kind of where the family came from, boxing. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to focus on the popular wrestling. But he is promoting it. You better believe Tim Hornbaker lists a bunch of boxers that he booked. And there is a reason why I underline this stuff. Other than maybe he was successful, I guess, that, he books a guy and then he books a rematch. Do any of you have any notes on the boxing stuff that Tim gets into?
No, I tuned right out of that.
Okay.
And it seemed like Vince tuned out of that too, so we're with Vince on that one.
Yes. Okay. So
he farmed it out because he didn't give a shit about boxing.
Because it's boring.
So now, winter of 1953, they asked Vincent McMahon, to appear in front of the U.S. Senate subcommittee on juvenile delinquency. Okay.
My son's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, he didn't talk about his son. He doesn't know his son. Vince is out there in the world, living in North Carolina. Now, keep in mind that underage drinking in Washington, D.C., in 1984, the drinking age became 21. In 1984. I'm sure many people know, it was 18 across the country for many years. And what they want, this subcommittee wanted to know about underage drinking. This subcommittee would go on in 54 to be the people that cracked down on the comic book industry, which almost killed the comic book industry because of violent imagery. Why is this horror comic got a woman's head cut? He's got a decapitated head there. Yada, yada, yada. Where then that became you get the ratings on that, and then they have to do the thing with video games eventually had to do, where we'll put ratings on the, we'll start self-policing. So why they called Vincent McMahon in was that, he'd book dances at the Turner Arena, soon to be Capitol Arena, Saturday night, and the entire neighborhood was a haven, Tim says, for illegal liquor sales to minors.
Hell yeah.
So kids were going to bars. These are like 18 these are under 18. Kids under 18 were going around to the bars around the arena, grabbing a whiskey, grabbing a beer, and then heading over to the dance hall. Basically, that's essentially what the arena has turned into.
Why is that the dance hall's fault, though? Why are they supposed to police people are...
McMahon forbid liquor in the arena. They're only selling soda pop.
That's right. Yeah.
He had also hired his own special officers to weed out violators, and 138 individuals were arrested at Turner's Arena for drunkenness, disorderly conduct, or public consumption. And so he's like, hey, I don't want this either, So let's go. Here we go. I got it. I found the actual transcript here. Let me find it here in the old Discord. It's going to work better with two people. Do you want to be Vincent McMahon, or do you want to be the people talking to him?
I'll be the people talking to him.
I'll be Mr. McMahon. Okay. So there's two people. There's the counsel to the subcommittee, and then there's the senators. And the Senator Hennings, is from Missouri.
I don't want to do this whole thing.
Oh, come on.
It wasn't that interesting.
No, it is interesting because at the end, I don't know what they're talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
I'll read the whole thing. Okay. I'll go through. No. This is quick.
Send it to me again.
This is the testimony of Vincent J. McMahon, president of Turner's Arena Corporation, District of Columbia. Mr. Hannock. Mr. McMahon, your name was mentioned yesterday in connection with the operation of a place called Turner's Arena. Yes, sir. What is your connection with Turner's Arena? I am president of the Turner's Arena Corporation. Is that a privately held company? Yes, sir. You have several stockholders? Yes, sir. What does Turner Arena do? What sort of place is it? Is it this person didn't do it right. It's an auditorium where we conduct boxing, wrestling, dancing, meetings, so forth. A public auditorium. What kind of building is it? What do you mean by that, sir? Is it a 2-story building? It's a one large building, one large room. Where is it?
What fucking question is that?
1341 W Street, Northwest. Do you have a liquor license there? No, sir. Do you sell liquor? No, sir. Is liquor consumed on the premises by your patrons? Yes, but never with my permission. What do you do to stop them from doing it? I engage special policemen and also Metropolitan Police. You had Metropolitan Police in there for a while and wrote to the department asking them to go out. Why was that? That was a question of cutting down on expenses. Just a minute. I thought, this is a senator, I thought I understood you to say, sir, that you engaged special police and engaged Metropolitan Police. Am I correct? Yes, sir. Do you mean to say you engage a member of the Metropolitan Police Department and pay him? Yes, sir. We pay the Metropolitan Police several $100s a month for special men to be assigned. You do not mean you pay the police? No, sir. We pay the city. You pay the district? Yes, sir. Are these men assigned to you regular members of the Metropolitan Police Department, or are they specially designated for this work? I don't follow that. I'm sorry. I don't want to misquote them. I didn't quite follow that. Are they regular members of the police department, or are they brought in as special policemen? No, sir. They're regular members of the police department. And from what precinct? The 13th precinct. Where do you make a request when you want them assigned or taken off the job? We request them, and they come to the affair that takes place in the arena. Where do you make the request? To the precinct, the 13th precinct. How much do you have to pay for the policeman? I don't know exactly. How much? It's just determined by the number of hours the affair takes. How much an hour do you pay? I believe it's their regular salary that the policeman would receive ordinarily. Well, how much is that? I don't know.
Answer the goddamn question.
You're the president of the company, are you not? Yes, sir. When you say that you pay the regular salary, do you mean that you pay his monthly salary, his weekly salary, his daily wage, or what? No. If a policeman's salary is broken down into the amount of hours he puts in, we pay thee accordingly. You pay, in other words, the portion of the officer's salaries which would be allocated to the amount of time that he spends at your place. Is that right? Yes, sir. And that is entirely within your determination? No, sir. No, not the salary. I mean, whether you or have a policeman or have 2 or 3 at any given time. No, sir. We have 2 men assigned to everything that takes place. And in all the cases we have 2 men assigned, you pay them or pay the department. We pay the department. For their services. Yes, sir. Are they assigned to the interior of your establishment? Yes, sir, the interior. They are there for the purpose of preserving order and enforcing the law. Yes, sir. Upon these occasions, when you say you have tried to stop the bringing of liquor into the place and consumption of liquor on the premises, have you ever complained to any of these police that you found that constituted a problem and wanted something done about it? No, sir. The men do their regular police duties in the arena, in the auditorium, and naturally, if they see anyone drinking, they confiscate the bottle and possibly throw them out of the arena. Not so naturally. If you will permit me, sir, not so naturally. There are cases when they do not. Are there not? Not to my knowledge, sir. Do you pay these police who have been assigned to you anything over above what you pay the police department? No, sir. Have you ever given any of these police any side money, so to speak? No, sir. In no instance. No, sir. Never. but you have never made any complaint to them that you have had any problem confronting you with relation to the consumption of liquor on the premises. No, sir, I haven't. Have you ever told them that you wanted that law enforced strictly? No, sir, I haven't. Have you ever told them that you were not particularly concerned about it? No, sir. You have given them, in other words, no direction, either affirmative or negative, with relation to what they might conceive to be their duties. That is right, sir. And I include suggestions as well as directions. Yes, sir, they are qualified policemen, so I don't think it's necessary for me to instruct them in their duties. Have you ever had any problems of disorder at Turner's Arena? Yes, we've had fights and so forth. And so forth. Occasionally. Quite a few, have you not? I wouldn't say there's any more than in any other public hall. During these various parties or occasions where a juvenile takes part in dances and entertainment, are you in there yourself? I am in the building. I have to be in the building constantly. I've never missed more than 15 minutes in any affair. Have you ever directed the police to escort anyone from the building? Yes, I have. In other words, you have made complaints on occasions to the police, have you not? No, sir. Or called the attention of the police to disorders? Yes. For example, if I notice some trouble in one portion of the arena and the policeman happens to be on the other side, I will go over and get him. That relates only, I take it, to the disorder of physical nature, not related to drinking? Yes, sir, but also drinking. You have on occasion instructed the police to remove people from the premises who have brought liquor or consuming liquor on the premises in the case of juveniles. Yes, sir. I'm very glad to hear that you've done that. I've tried to cooperate in any way at all. We had some very damaging testimony. I was amazed over what I read yesterday. I want to assure you that this committee is trying to be fair with you, Chairman. How did this arrangement ever develop? This arrangement of having a metropolitan police come to your establishment to keep watch? I'm not quite positive, sir. I've just taken over the arena as of last January, and it was already in effect at that time. That was the established custom at the time? Yes, sir. And I believe, to my knowledge, there are only 3 establishments in this whole city that pay for the protection, for special attention from the city police department. And as a citizen, do you think that is a sound arrangement? As a citizen? Mr. Chairman, this gentleman, after all, I've never seen him before, is in business. He has to get along with the police. That is correct, says the chairman. Senator again. I respectfully wonder whether we ought to ask him to pass judgment upon a regulation or a procedure to which he is compelled to subscribe. I am also amazed, too, as the chair is, that there is even such an arrangement here. I never heard of a city in this entire country where you had to request the police department for special protection. The chairman says, I want to be fair to Mr. McMahon because he's been frank to this subcommittee, and I wonder as a citizen if he thought an arrangement of that kind was a good policy. Mr. McMahon, as was pointed out yesterday, I requested that the police be removed from the arena, that is, the Metropolitan Police, and that he would conduct it with special policemen. And after a period of approximately 6 weeks, I requested that they be reassigned because they are necessary. I found they are necessary to the welfare of the public and also to the arena. Okay, so it's a question which has 2 sides, and I'm trying to resolve this question in my own mind. Mr. McMahon, we tried to eliminate a little bit of the expenses and overhead and suggested to the Captain Fuss of Precinct 13, and he said, well, we'll give it a 6-month period. We could use the men elsewhere anyhow. So after 6 weeks, I went down and requested that they be reassigned to the arena because an uniformed policeman will prevent an awful lot of trouble. The chair will agree with that. Were not these private officers in uniform? Some were, sir, but not all. Besides, the special officer does not get the respect that a metropolitan police officer does. If he is in uniform and the people know it, yes, they also know he's a special officer. How many people do you find necessary on Sunday, Monday, to remove the empty bottles from the dances on Saturday night? How many people do you have?
Why is our government wasting time on this?
Yep. I have never given that problem any thought, sir. We have 2 janitors to clean the place after every affair.
Yeah.
How many barrels of empty bottles do you take out on a Monday?
Jesus.
They want to nail down these juvenile delinquents. How much they drinking? To my knowledge, I have never had a barrel of bottles.
Are you returning the bottles for the deposits? Are you profiting off of this drinking, sir?
Now here we go, Larry. This is why. Do you not have a special fellow that goes into the bathroom there and takes them out every hour? A little midget? You know what I'm talking about. No, sir. That is.
Lord Littlebrook has got 2 contracts.
You better believe I was Googling, what does midget mean in 1953? No, sir. That is not true. I read that in the paper yesterday, and I was surprised at reading it. Have you not a midget that takes care of the toilets? We haven't an attendant to take care of the toilets. Runs in the place and takes the bottles out every hour, does he not? No, sir. How often does he do that? This guy is like, you have a midget, right? He keeps putting, and Vincent McMahon keeps going, no, we do not have a bathroom attendant. No, sir. How often does he do that? We haven't any man assigned to do that. I submit that counsel is arguing with the witness. The witness is answering questions, Mr. Hannock. He says there's no such man. That's the answer. He's under oath. That is his answer. He has answered the question a number of times. I do not wish to be critical of counsel, but I think we have pursued this point far enough.
No wonder Junior grew up hating the government. Like, Senior must have always been like just bitching about them. Like,
they kept asking me about a midget. Saying, where's the midget? Why isn't he in the bathroom getting the bottles? What the fuck were they talking about? If the senator from Missouri will permit, the chairman will try to resolve this matter by one simple question. There are bottles removed, are there not? Yes, I would say there were empty bottles after a dance. And some of your attendants are people who remove those bottles, along with the necessary paper cups and things that we sell our soft drinks in. But we do not sell any alcoholic beverages, beer or liquor. We are not suggesting that you sell alcoholic beverages. I'm talking about bottles. Well, they are swiped up with the rest of the rubbish. What was it that caused you to get these officers back again? You said that the uniform was much more helpful. What was helpful in preventing arguments and fights and so forth? Dude, the so forth and things of that nature. It's so like you hear, like you grow up and so. Did you have a lot of those? Are there more than ordinary during the 6-week period? I know it's a little increase when the men weren't assigned there. Yes, during those 6 weeks, and the fights were the youngsters involved and adults. Yes, sir. Who else is there in charge of the dance in addition to you? I'm in charge of the entire dance. Do you have any of your associates? No, sir. Who are the other stockholders of this company? Frank Proctor, Charles O'Connor, and Phil Gray. Just the 4 of us. Do those men show up at these dances too and help operate? No, sir. Mr. Chairman, I find for the enlightenment of at least myself and possibly some members of the staff, council, and others, that the assessment against the arena, which has been and the assessment at the adverted to be here today under the public law, the present time, $202.93 per month. The council representing the witness said Mr. McMahon's arena relates in a letter. The chairman goes, the letter was in our subcommittee finals. Senator Henning goes, yes, I understand. But what I was getting at for this was, this is a law that Congress has passed relating to the assessment for police. I'm astonished to learn that. The chair is not astonished to learn that at all. The chair would like to observe that we are inquiring about juvenile delinquency in the district, the place which is controlled by Congress, so that Congress is the agency of the government responsible for all the laws of the district. That is right, says the senator. In other words, we are inquiring to the propriety of our own action. They're going, why aren't the laws that we've established being followed?
Why does the government have any business knowing who are the shareholders of a private corporation?
I don't. That's what they're trying to get this guy back on track. We certainly are, and it's rather shocking to know that this is not a regulation by the commissioners or by the police. This is something that we do not do here in the nation's capital. The chair sees no wrong in inquiring into your own action if the action is improper. That is the point I made. That is why I mentioned the letter. This comes right back here to Congress. Chairman, you probably have more delinquency in the district than any other big city because the city does not have home rule. Now, I think the subcommittee has better stop its argument, and we will proceed with the witness. The senator says, I did not construe it as an argument. I thought we ought to know about that, Mr. Chairman. The chairman said, I do not think there's any doubt about the fact. I do not think the press had any doubt about the fact all along that we were inquiring into the action of certain instances for Congress. For example, the testimony, blah, 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 blah. Senator says, I think that court could take judicial notice. But by the way, Vincent McMahon is just sitting here during all this. He just runs an arena where kids are just getting absolutely blasted on Saturday nights.
No, they're not getting blasted at the arena.
No.
It's for the arena.
And
It's
then
out of his hands.
then there's two
He wants to
janitors.
stop as much as they do.
They want him, as the two janitors are doing the push broom on the bottles, going, how did these get here? Are we to believe that juveniles were drinking here? So
Tell me about
senator,
this midget.
the senator, maybe we should be hiring a midget for the bathroom. So the senator goes, he disagrees with the chairman. So they go to him. Okay, so the senator, Mr. Hannick, are there any observations that you would care, the council goes, are there any observations that you would care to make, Mr. McMahon, that would assist us in adopting statutes or regulations, or suggesting adoption of statutes or regulations would facilitate and make easier the operation of a place of business such as yours? I couldn't offer any suggestions offhand. But you are satisfied from your inspection that juveniles do not consume liquor on your place to any great extent? Yes, sir. To any extent, to my knowledge, sir. To any extent to your knowledge, yes. You stay there when these dances are on? Yes, sir. I am there from an hour before the dance starts until a half hour after. He leaves in between. There's no way he stays for the whole thing.
Yeah, he's dancing on the witness stand.
Thank you very much, Mr. McMahon, for your appearance here. The subcommittee will now recess until 2:15. That's it. They just were like, "You want any laws you could think of to stop this?" And he's like, "No." They're like, "Are you there?" That's the last question. Are you there? Do you see this? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm there. It's fine." Okay, so he's brought in. You know who he's going to for counsel? Jess McMahon, his dad.
Yeah,
He's still there.
consigliere.
He's talking to him. Then in 1954, Jess goes to Wilkes-Barre. Is it Wilkes-Barre?
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to observe a wrestling program, which is the only way you can handle wrestling, is to observe it. And he became ill. His condition was diagnosed as a cerebral hemorrhage. At 72 years old, he died a few days later on November 21st. He's buried at St. Raymond's Cemetery in the Bronx. Go visit it. So, Tim claims that was a jolt across the wrestling world. The NWA's got almost 40 members. They're trying to do their thing. There's Sam's trying to grab everybody from every major city. You better believe he lists them. Eddie Quinn in Montreal, Harry Light in Detroit, Joe Malkowitz in San Francisco, Paul Jones in Atlanta, Stu Hart in Calgary, Mike London in Albuquerque. You got Al Karisic in Honolulu. Salvador.
That hot New Mexico territory.
Yes.
Yeah,
And Salvador Luderoff of Mexico City. So, people are, this is the thing. It's controlled talent. You contact a neighbor, you're swapping out. You're getting fresh talent in. Everyone's moving around, okay?
sounds like collusion to me.
You better believe those title holders are board sanctioned. Okay, where are we at here? He talks about the different grapplers that are available, when you're in part of the alliance. They have to be booked by a specific designated administrator, okay? There's a guy that handles the women's, there's the guy that handles you have to, so if you want something, you have to call Toots, if you want some, there's rosters still, right? Same went for the troupe of little people on the wrestling circuit. Little Beaver, Sky Lolo, other popular performers were managed through the Detroit office by Bert Ruby and Jack Britton. And you better believe I was picturing a young Bret Hart calling the Detroit office. When are you guys coming to Calgary? Love it so much. Stu's son is calling us again. He's fascinated.
I was fascinated that there were offices. Did people sit in this office like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, like fielding?
They do in the film The Wrestler. That's the way Vern's office is kind of portrayed. That there's a full-time secretary just fielding questions about wrestling.
But if you call it and you book the date, you're done. It's all so set far in advance. Like, what else are you doing? Like, he calls or he gets a hold of the other wrestlers. God, this was before, so like you have to like leave a message for like Sky Lolo. I've got you booked down in Calgary. Get back to me when you can. Sky Lolo has a message waiting for him at a hotel. Detroit called. They have another booking for you. Crazy. Yeah, what else are they doing with their days other than taking like the 2%? All these middlemen taking the 2%, 4%, just scraping. Look, later in the book, he's like, it's not very mob-like. And it's like, yes, they are. They're all fighting for like essentially like being slightly wealthier than most, like, but not doing a lot. And they have to protect this little bit amount of, money that's split up amongst many people. Everyone's getting a slight taste. So Luthez, though, Sam Muchnick, if you're running the NWA, you're booking the title holder, right? So that's who you got to.
Mob ties, Muchnick.
Yes, Colin in the Discord was like, it wasn't making enough money. And again, I thought of The Sopranos, where it's like Tony at his best is living in a McMansion. He's got like 100,000 stuffed up in the. It's not like millions.
Sure.
He.
Well, remember Hesh in season 6 estimates his net worth, and it's not impressive.
I know, and it's just the big thing is they just don't want to like. What's his name? He looks at the clock. Oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
Vito.
Vito in the later season.
Can't do one day of labor.
Yeah. Don't look at the clock. Don't look at the clock. Okay. I'll look at the clock. And like 5 minutes pass by, and he goes, he decides just knowing it's his doom, he can't do it. So, and that's a big thing with wrestlers where they're like, I just can't imagine working a regular job, and it's like you really can't. They'd rather sit in a hotel room.
It's so funny you say that. I've been trolling Joey Ryan now because with his stupid fucking YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And he hasn't blocked me yet. So on his newest one, I just told him that the trades were hiring and that they even offer health insurance.
Dude. Well, he might get. Well, look.
What did he respond?
No.
Joey Ryan can't learn how to be a plumber and make more money than he would just wrestling right now, not being booked in wrestling. And probably have look. No one, if you're fixing somebody's plumbing, no one's like Googling their plumber and going, "Did he get Me Too'd?"
If you're on a drywall crew, come on, they've all got felonies, and
Not only that, but he could probably make a decent. Okay, I guess there's a limit. At some point, somebody in his city would be like, "Just so you know, Joey Ryan Plumbing, that guy." But he's good looking enough that I feel like maybe he could, like, if he moves to the right city, he could survive that. Like, look, he fucking does the good work. Joey Ryan, become an electrician, become a plumber. What's another trade he could do?
Electrician, plumber. I mean, just a laborer.
Yeah, just what else? I mean, like a fix-it guy or something like that.
Man, there's not really a union for that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what else is there that said specifically you can use? Roofing? There's no union in roofing. There's no roofing union.
No, roofing.
There should be.
Roofing's pretty low on the list.
There should be. So,
It's roofers, drywall installers, painters. That's the bottom three.
I know, and there should be, especially roofer. That is such a hard gig. That is
Yeah, but anybody can do it as long as you just.
yeah. I know. I understand why there's not. They'll find another guy. So, I thought this was. I don't know why I thought, but I was like, whoever. Tim doesn't put whose idea was it, but in all these other cities, they're putting the NWA logo on the program. So it's an NWA event, which gives them a legitimacy. We're like, oh, okay, the NWA, okay. And they're all getting around.
I'm going to see an unsanctioned show.
Yeah, this isn't some mom and pop. This is the NWA. This is an official thing.
Yeah, this is a part of the consortium.
So they go, oh yeah, I went to an NWA show. So everyone's working in unison. Here's the problem. When you have everybody working against, all these booking guys with their booking licenses and promoters, they're all when they're all working in cohesion together, as Tim writes, they're blacklisting people that give them problems, they're starting to get a little monopolistic. Okay, if you got a problem with one territory, one city, you're probably going to get blacklisted by the other ones. They're not going to use you. They're all working together to exploit the workers. And this is again where you talk about the NWA bylaws were universal, but other than that, members handled their business as they saw fit. Their own system of discipline. And this is where you get into the carny stuff. Let's see. Roy Welch and Nick Goulas, which operated Tennessee to Kentucky, Alabama, and Mississippi, would send wrestlers that they didn't care for on, or instigators, which I don't like Tim using what people instigators. He's instigators.
He's using the language of labor.
Yes.
On gasoline runs.
What a bootlicker.
Tim, I make a note at the end how Tim portrays the McMahons.
You have felt that a few times in this book that he's kind of like a heroic story.
Yes, fighting that NWA monopoly.
Always a leader in race relations.
It's time when Vince McMahon took on the government.
With their silly midget, asking about midgets. I'm like, okay, so I couldn't find anything when I Googled in 1953 what midget is. In 1953, was it just common you go into the bathroom, there's a midget there with towels and what have you? And
I don't think it's all bathroom attendant. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily always a midget.
I feel like that's like a David.
I think that was at the Turner Club or whatever.
Is that where David Lynch got the idea? It seems like David Lynchian to go into a bathroom and there's a midget standing there and he's taking care of things in the bathroom. And you're thinking about, am I wrong on that? It's David Lynchian.
A little bit, yes.
I feel like I'm not saying David Lynch was anti-midget or anything. I'm just saying that.
No, I don't think anyone is. Why would you?
I'm just saying that maybe he was a kid and he walked into a bathroom. There's a and it made it seared into his brain, and then he was he took it to Twin Peaks. Colin, help me. So they would send these wrestlers. Roy Welch, Nick Goulas would send these instigators on gasoline runs, quote unquote, which they're going, we got you booked in this town 600 miles away, but you're going to get paid $20. And again, I question these wrestlers, which is can't you just find a job local? Just go, you know what? Fuck this. This is stupid. I'm not driving 600 miles for $20 to fake fight. I'm just going to I don't do anything else.
And if you don't do it, then you can't fake fight anywhere else.
Yeah, like what the fuck am I doing? Like what the fuck is going on? And they also purposely limited the pay of to wrestlers, and then you need money? We'll give you a loan. And then you're indebted to us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy,
% interest.
Union sounds good right about now. I had a guy in my crew say recently that he needed some help, and I said, I just helped him out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You're like Frank Sabatka.
Yeah,
he would slide the guys to cash at the bar.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Let's take care of it. Let's figure it out. Let's see. Hey, the Workers Club. At least my motto: lead with empathy. You wanted to explain the situation. I said, don't explain this. I don't. It's fine.
Hey, you're not given a handout. You're given a handout.
Empathy is a made-up term.
Yes.
Oh, come on!
Somebody told me that. I don't.
You're gonna get us in the.
Cash Patel is gonna hear it. Cash Patel listening to this podcast, jotting down notes. Somebody in Baltimore has been taken off a child predator case to transcribe the Workers Club. Yeah, I don't like when people are going. I said he kind of should try to. I said I believe you. You know, I believe you. It's okay.
That was quite a pro wrestling exchange because it's two phonies. When Cash and Cory Booker were going at it today.
Oh, that, yes. And I'll even say Adam Schiff. Even that. The theater of it all. Yes. A bunch of... Oh, don't get me started. Who do we know that was a big Cory Booker... Anyway. So, all these guys... There's old guys that were running, like, wrestling shows, and now the NWA Muchnick has made it into a thing here where all they're like... You know, they're squeezing them out, because... You know, whoever Sam likes, that's who's getting to run the roost there. You know, they're going to be the guy. They're going to get the talent. So then Tim writes 2 years earlier in 1952, and I write, "No, you were going forward. No," and he's going back. He brings up a promoter in Iowa City, Iowa, who had booked Antonino Rocca, you know, Rocca, he's a big deal in New York. And Toots had said, yeah, go, yeah, it's fine.
Is that the guy, like, the Canadian that was, like, in the... Was he a CFL player?
Who's that?
Antonio Rocca?
I don't know. That's a deep cut.
No, Angela Mosca.
That's a... Sorry, okay, my bad.
See?
Yeah, Angelo Mosca.
I knew you were talking about from the beginning. I just couldn't place it either.
Yeah, sorry. He's the man. The sidebar, I guess.
So this guy in Iowa City, Iowa, he's not an NWA. He's not approved by Sam. He's not a member. And Toots sends Rocca over there, one of the biggest stars.
Somebody's gonna get fucked up.
Well, he was scolded, quote, scolded by the Alliance. And
I just think of Job with the Alliance anytime I
the Magicians Alliance.
Yes.
They'll blacklist me. You know what I think about Arrested Development? The only thing I ever I think about all the time is the when the bees that, and probably also the hook bit, the long running hook bit of people being scared of his hook. Great show. Pinky George, one of Gus's favorite guys. Pinky George, who ran the Iowa Territory, who was approved. He's making angry phone calls. He's like, what the fuck? Toots sent this, our biggest star. I was mine. And so Pinky George was able to tell Rocca, just don't even show up. Toots is sinking New York. right? Toots is still in New York, just sinking it with his like lazy booking and his betting on the ponies and what have you.
Harness racing.
Yeah. Oh, that comes. You better believe I underlined that, Tim. You little devil. Harness racing. So Fred Kohler, right? He's one of the big. He's bringing TV to Chicago. He's one of the pioneers.
Gilmont Network.
He wants oversight on Mont's money management, and he is going to send 29-year-old Jim Barnett to New York to supervise. He calls Jim Barnett up and he goes, "You're going to the Atlanta of the North."
Somebody call for a cowboy.
Toots is 60, almost 60. He's like, whatever. Now remember,
Hattons.
Remember Martinez, who got taken for a ride by Toots?
Pedro?
He goes into the Madison Square Garden dressing room in 1954 and be like, "What the fuck with the money, man? Like, I sold this, you fucking, and then you bought it back for cheap, like all that. You owe me money. You owe me over $19,000, dude." And I'm sure Toots was like, the ponies aren't fucking. I'm not landing. It's a bad time for me. And Pedro punches him. I'm assuming he just beats the shit out, or just hits him, and Toots takes it.
This really should be like a TV show. Like,
If Toots isn't beating out, if Toots isn't helping Strangler Lewis beat the shit out of Dick Shakat, he's getting punched by Pedro Martinez of Buffalo.
but like, you could do a whole season of just him at the races and
just him
that's not coming through when they need to, and
dare I say, him working the hot dog stand at the Coliseum is like Better Call Saul working at a Dunkin' Donuts in Omaha.
1,000%, yes.
Just hiding out, waiting. Going crisscross across the country when the IRS knocks on his door, like, this works, right? If I change my mailing address, they can't find me. I'm never going to pay taxes. It's not right.
See, it doesn't count when you change your W-2.
He's writing Toots Monts, like, well, that's what people call me. I'm not using my real name. People are losing money. Look, we're in another cycle. Tim does this thing where we're like constantly in different cycles, and he just moves on. He's like, wrestling was at its biggest. Next paragraph, wrestling was at its worst. He's talking about Haft at Contos is in Baltimore. What's happening here? Advertisers are threatening to walk if they don't improve the wrestling. He's pleading with Ed Contos is pleading with the Maryland State Athletic Commission. Commissioner J. Marshall Boone.
And then there's another entity that's just got to get their slice.
Dude.
Like, this whole fucking thing is just primed to be like, think of all the factions. Like,
dude,
there's better than Game of Thrones.
There's so many people like taking a cut. And then on top of it, every time, I know Muldoon is probably dead by this point. I can't remember when he died. But every time they bring up the New York State Athletic Commission and how it's like so stringent, I'm thinking Muldoon just shaking his head going, not on my watch. No. This is not what wrestling should be. There's the commission takes a taste. The organizations the bookers are creating take a taste with dues and way. Then they on themselves take a taste because a lot of them are
taking a cut,
dude. And then the promoters taking a cut. The booking agent, which you have to be licensed for, is taking a cut. And no one has ever unionized in wrestling, and they don't even do that anymore. And you could like, it's not even like other sports where they're like making so much money. It's like, oh, John Moxley. We think maybe John Moxley's making $6 million or $7 million, or Roman Reigns is making $8 million or something. That's like a guessing.
Why TKO is so dead set on stamping out Tony, because he has significantly raised the floor of salaries and is cutting into their cut.
Not one. Seth Rollins doesn't see the reporting where the percentage of revenue compared to what they're paid is the worst in anything, like across the board comparative. He doesn't see that and go, wait a minute, what the hell?
I don't believe.
Or like,
no.
It's with the UFC it works because a lot of those guys are just dumb as hell. And they're like geeking over $100,000 for the fight night bonus or whatever.
But I was just going to ask you that. Do any wrestlers right now strike you as being like very conservative and responsible financially, and like aware of trends? Because remember, Foley was.
Yeah, all those old guys were because they knew that it would end or whatever. But now all this current generation seems to be, well, I'm on TV and I'm like a known entity.
Yeah,
I don't know how much they're making or if they're saving it or what.
Hey, Maven's making more now on YouTube than he was in the WWE.
Probably.
That's what was crazy to me. Hang on, about the Kyle Fletcher, Stevie Richards thing. It's like, brother, you were making like $8 a week working for WWF. You admitted this.
Yeah.
You don't really have a say here. This
Kyle Fletcher had such a I was like,
it was a good response.
Yeah, I was like, this kid actually has his head on his shoulders. Yeah. Where he was like, he's doing it for engagement. I take advice from people. I understand what he's doing. I'm doing my own thing. There's nothing to talk about.
Should have called him CTE Soup Brain. Like,
he should have been like, why is he filtering his thumbnails? Why does he look like that in his thumbnails? Thinking about like this book and the wrestlers and all that, and like going all the way back to this, and then UFC, TKO, and the fighter, and like all that. When you were saying like, oh, the WWE, I don't know why they don't unionize, because it's like
you just shorted out there.
Oh, I shorted out. Oh shit!
Oh shit! They're listening in. Well, we fucking
no, I just mean your cadence. He said the WWE.
Oh, the WWE. Oh, okay. The WWE.
Change course.
No, I'm just trying to gather all my thoughts here. They could be making,
man. That's all it is.
I know. Why are they so beholden to like? They could be making so much. Like the fact that wrestlers talk about getting like, well, I'll get insurance if I can get a SAG after a car. Like I can, if I become an actor, then I'll get insurance. It's okay. It's the thing of like, so right now, like in the NFL or NBA or whatever, like they make so much money now that they don't really. They're not thinking about like the union isn't like top of priority, like of like our bargaining, because they make so much money. Whereas the wrestlers aren't even near that of like, well, we make so much money. Like we're at a point now where I could see other professional sports going, why do we even have a union? We're like paid so much money. Like it was news when Bryce, what's the guy from the Nationals?
Harper
was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of the commissioner if he fucking tries to talk to me about fucking labor, about contracts. Like like wrestling. If you took wrestling and Bryce Howard telling the commissioner to his face, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you if you talk about salary cap. Wrestlers are like in the Stone Age to that of like somebody looking at Triple H or to Nick Khan and going, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you.
Never.
Fucking Bryce Howard
never
looked at the commissioner and said, I'm going to beat the shit out of you if you come and talk to us about a salary cap. beat
And
the
remember,
fuck
that's
out of you.
happened in the NFL too.
Yeah.
During some labor meetings, there was that one time, I think it was the old Panthers owner, Jerry Richardson. He's like, "Do you need me to explain how to show you a sum sheet or something like that? Like something business related." Just cutting a promo on this player, basically just telling him he's a dumbass.
I'll say this. I know it will never happen. This is what you do. You get Kurt Angle to be the head of the union because Triple H is scared of him.
No,
And you bring him in.
Able to walk up.
No, but that's the
That's
thing.
a good. No, come on. That's an even fight right now, I think.
It's an even fight right now, but the problem is that Kurt Angle just recently was like, I think they're going to buy the TNA library. I'm happy everyone will see the. Oh, he's
My greatest work.
Can we get one person that's not a fucking like all these guys? Look, Dave's talked about it. All these WWE guys are like, I'm just happy to be here. Can we get one guy that wants to like hold them accountable and be like, you're not paying us enough. This is crazy. You go on there to the press conferences. You talk about the gates. Can we get one Bruno? Bruno would have been like, what the fuck?
Stock buybacks.
Brother.
What was it, like 214 or something? I think it was.
If the UFC fight, I can't even. I know the UFC fighter. That's why, yeah. I believe that Sami Zayn is not as dumb as like a what's the UFC guy, Bryce guy that's always like on Flat Earth and what have you. I can't think of the kid's name, but there's a UFC fighter that is like Flat Earth. Colin will know the name. His first name is Bryce, but he spends his days on social media going, "It's Flat Earth." Look, this is it, that guy's not going to fight for his right to get paid appropriately. But
Yeah.
Sammy's, Kevin Owens, come on, these guys know what's going on. Are they just happy with the millions? They could be being paid multi-millions. I want people being paid appropriately for what they earn, and these guys are earning hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, look how much they just got on the ESPN deal. How much they're getting for Saudi WrestleMania. Oh, but it's baked into the contracts now. So
They're really just happy to be on TV.
What do you think
That's
their
it.
percentage is? You think it's around 25%? Has anyone done the math
I think
of revenue
well,
to
no,
talent?
it's like 3 or like 1. It's
Oh,
crazy.
it's not that crazy low.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer
Because
did the
NFL,
math.
all the sports are 50-50.
It's
Yeah,
so
that's
low.
why
It's crazy low.
it's like, yeah,
If your top star is being paid $7 million and you're earning $1 billion,
That's true.
do the math. It's crazy, and and that's only a handful of guys. We're talking about like a Reigns, a Mox, etc.
You're right. So even if your talent roster costs $100 million right now, you think that about covers it or no? $200 million?
it's
I
probably
think-
about 100 million.
I mean, I know. I mean, don't they say that besides the guys being paid the huge money, isn't there like no middle ground? It's kind of like nothing, or
it's
you're
not.
the top
No,
guy.
like if you're I don't even know what would be the equivalent. What's like a mid card guy?
What's Rusev getting?
Rusev is not getting is he getting $1 million?
Ooh,
Is he getting $1 million? That feels generous. Is he
I was
getting
gonna say
$1 million?
350.
I was gonna go like 250.
And this is why Dave thinks this should be public record.
Yeah, these assholes are too stupid for it. Come on. In my union, I knew exactly what everybody made.
This is
So
why
they
companies
figure it
tell
out.
you. And does Paul talk to a guy and goes, "So Roman, don't tell anybody what your wage is. That's going to cause a lot of disruption. People be jealous."
We don't want someone trying to take liberties on our, protect our investment.
I've lost my place. My God. Where am I? God damn it! I've lost my place. Where were we? Oh no, where were we? Where were we?
Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
Fine. Find yourself.
Well, you better tell me what we were talking about.
I'll find it in the book. I'll find out where we are. I put mine down as well.
We're at.
I know where we're at actually, because we are so focused on finances and fiancés that we miss out on advances in God's ways.
Wait, we're so focused on finances and fiancés.
That sounds personal.
That we miss the advances in God's ways.
Yeah. That's too bad.
But, a lot of people say you can lead a horse to water. But
Yeah,
you can't make him drink.
right.
I say that is not my job. My job is to make him thirsty.
The horses?
Why am I making a horse thirsty?
Riding them, I guess. You just keep riding them until they're down. They're about, as a horse guy, I guess you're just riding them and they're just like, no, don't drink.
And
Or maybe like you're supposed to be like a spiritual, like make them spiritually thirsty.
I think that's what he's trying to say. But if we could just, it's been a
stop
chaotic.
focusing on finances and fiancés.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I think we need to bring God into this podcast. Just leave us on a good note today, especially we watched that documentary 2 weeks ago. So I'll say, Father, help me cast over the burdens of this vessel so that I do not smash into the shores of my past, so that I do not float into the fears of my future, and so that I do not crash into the rocky bottoms of all my troubles. Amen.
Okay.
Nautical.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, that's just super.
I think we should open up a store of merch, and it's just his sayings on T-shirts. Sue us, I dare you.
No, well, why would he? No, he shouldn't be so focused on finances.
Yeah, we just read the shirt.
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah. Heed your own advice, you hypocrite.
I'm just glad that as the Workers Club, we finally got back to like the worker. I proudly stand with all these athletes making millions of dollars. I do.
Yeah.
I do know a guy that's like they're making so much money playing a kid's game,
Oh God, one of those guys.
and it's like, look, brother, you gotta look at it.
How the world works. Capitalism is a fucked up system that puts.
It is a lot of money, but to that, like what they're doing to what they're producing, it's.
I was saying that Sunday. Maybe I'm just getting to the point where my body's failing. But I'm like, I don't think you could pay me enough to play football. I'd be in constant fear for my life every play.
These guys are getting CTE. Pay them the money.
Snapping
could
my
drive
legs.
Rodgers going out there at like our age, like it's
You want to end up like Junior Sal?
that is a wild man.
You gonna drive off a cliff? What are we talking about here?
And we haven't taken those hits. Like,
Yeah.
So,
it's a kid's game. Should shut up. You're getting paid too much.
That's like the wife doesn't know much about sports, didn't grow up with it, so she's fascinated by the football, just how it works. And I showed her a video of Peyton Manning describing the route tree, which is so fucking complex. But that's like day one shit. And I'm like, you know what I mean?
People used to give Tom Brady crap, because he checks his wrist and all that stuff, checks the... It's like, what the... Why you expected to memorize all this shit? Let me have a cheat sheet. So look, okay. Let's just go to 1954 April. Toots declares bankruptcy. The Manhattan Booking Agency, remember that? It's gone under. And yet
He's a
he's
shell corporation at best.
Cayman Islands.
So now that means Baltimore, Philadelphia. Hey yo, Fabiani. They're done. Everyone's done. Hey, look. So Edward Contos, and Ray Fabiani. Oh, man, he's been around forever. He's not dead. They apply for membership in the alliance, and they're rejected. You got, let's see, we got Haft in Columbus, Dusick in New York, and Crockett in the Mid-Atlantic region. And Tim talks about, like, this is getting unlawful. This is becoming a thing where they're denying, like, Ray Fabiani and Contos. This is becoming a thing where they're closing the fist on promoters. So some people are finally starting to say, hey, this is fucked up. Johnny Doyle in Los Angeles is a major critic, Tim says. Remember him out there with Toots
Yep.
in Los Angeles? Let's see. He was going to
Who were
go
the
work
brothers?
in New York?
No, in L.A. Remember, it was brothers.
Oh,
that Toots
that's
worked for.
right. The Darrows brothers.
Darrow brothers, yeah.
So Doyle's going to work in New York, but then Toots blows that up when he declares bankruptcy. He goes back to Los Angeles. But you know what? The U.S. Department of Justice in 1955, people are talking to them. They're saying, hey, the NWA is being very naughty. But the closer the department would get to, like, people within the NWA, the more secretive it got. And then there's Jack Pfeffer. Remember that guy in the 1930s? He was going, I know whatever. I'll tell you what's up with wrestling. Yep. Now this time around, he's going, I don't know nothing. This guy that's on the record 20 years prior, whatever it was, would be...
When I read this whole section, it just sounded like the steroid trial. All
It's
the
so
same
funny
shit
that-
where the guys back out because they don't want to, get blackballs.
Jack Pfeffer recognizes the power of the NWA. Even then, he knows what's up. And he's like, ooh. Which speaks to how splintered it was at the time that before he was like, yeah, I'm pissed off. Oh, yeah, I'll tell all the papers it's fake. Sure, why not? I don't give a fuck. So he's Sam Muchnick is worried that the government is going to come down on them, and he's going to have to break up the NWA or something's gonna. He's nervous. Or also that they go to court and they're talking about wrestling and wrestling's fake and all this and it's going to do damage. But Tim says basically what was going on is that every territory had a TV show. It's too much wrestling on TV. Something right now that is happening currently. Too much wrestling available on too many outlets. Nobody gives a shit.
Who's watching Evolve on?
Sickos. I want to. Can we interview somebody watching Evolve on Tubi?
I've never even seen even Reddit stuff on it.
No.
I don't think it just exists. I think.
What's your fucking problem? That's my next That's my question. What's your fucking problem? Are you okay? Oh, this is very dark liqueur. Ooh.
Well, what did you just say in the book? I had something to say in night.
Oh, the territories having their own too much wrestling on the TV.
Yep, too much wrestling.
Yeah.
Now they're overexposed.
I looked up the Dumont Network because that's like a name I've never heard outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a small, shitty network on UHF stations when TVs didn't even have UHF selectors yet.
Yeah. What's the
So
problem?
when wrestling was huge on the Dumont network, it was probably
On like some fringe network that like only perverts got.
yeah.
You come home from a hard day of laying brick,
Just
and
put on the
you're like,
Dumont network and
Yeah.
just watch
and
raps.
you're like,
Vern
What's on-
Gagne.
what's on next? More
What?
wrestling.
Gagne
what's on
crap
after
on
that?
the Dumont network.
It's just you
Hey,
can't get away from it.
He was almost an Olympian. I don't know if you heard.
You're like, I just want one Shakespeare play. I just want
Hey,
something
peanut butter.
else
Come on.
other than
Peanut,
wrestling.
come on.
You're eating a chicken cutlet from your wife. You're just like, I've seen
Peanut.
so much fucking
Grab a
wrestling.
body
I turn the channel and it's fucking wrestling. Of the three, I go back after the third. I go back to the first channel. It's fucking wrestling. So,
Why are you throwing a little conniption, bud?
the promoters need something new.
It's either wrestling
the-
or Jack Benny.
The, the NWA, they're going to look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to push a football hero. 30-year-old Leo Nomalini. Nomalini?
Nomalini.
Nomalini. San Francisco 49er. He's going to beat Luthez. That was March 22nd, 1955. Thez was disqualified for kicking the challenger from the ring during the third fall. And this seems to be the go-to. A shitty finish, and then we're going to do a rematch. But, you know, Tim says that Nomalini's victory got national attention.
Come here.
But
Well, it's also a way for you to kind of safely test the reaction, I suppose, too. Like,
yeah,
try it before you
Mm-hmm.
buy it.
well, they did, and then it didn't really do business anywhere, so they just went like, okay, back to Thez.
That's goddamn right. Right back to the Hungarian hooker.
So here we go, though. So Vincent over in Washington, D.C., Vincent McMahon, he goes, hey, Lou Thez is going to come and face a little Tony tournament. He's going to, Thez is going to face the tournament champion. Oh, shit. Damn it. Fucking, that's what I get for resting it on my fucking... And what happens is that...
It was Raka and a German guy. Was it Hans Schmidt? Or
yeah. Well, I mean, look, you got Yukon Eric,
that's
the
right.
Great Kato, and Raka. And then he gets snubbed. Okay. He absolutely Luthez does not show up. And then McMahon finds out that Ray Fabiani over in Philadelphia, he gets Luthez. What the fuck is happening right now? He's got toots. Like, what the fuck? He said, they said yes, Thez will be there. He's advertising Thez, and Thez doesn't show up. So let's see here. McMahon's got a program on WTTG every 10 to 11 p.m. every Thursday night. And this is where he names Turner's Arena to Capitol Arena because executives do not like venues with personal names. Okay. What's that about? Who gives a shit if it's named after a guy?
Maybe that was considered like ostentatious.
Joe Turner's dead. Who gives? Name it something, and he's like, after my company? He's like, sure, just as long as it's not about Turner.
So they would love like stupid names like Guaranteed Rate Field and
I guess so. Like, what is it? Like Turner? Okay, Turner.
I like fields named after people.
Oh yeah, all the classic ones were Abbott's Field,
Absolutely.
Comiskey, Wrigley. Come on.
The Triple
Fenway.
S
I'll
Metrodome.
just say names. Yankee. What's the current one now? Crypto? Or what are the current names of things? Oh, Smoothie King.
We have the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Oh, God.
Nice.
We
Ay, caramba.
call it the Romo Fijo.
What's
Oh,
the
that's
It's a little bit of local talk.
Colin, what's the name of the TKO arena in Saudi? What do they call that thing? They have a name for it. So, okay.
Get going here. Get
I'm
up to
trying
Willie-
to. McMahon invests his own money. He's going to prove to these guys that he can be successful. Uline Arena. Fabiani's fighting him. Let's see. Oh, then Fabiani tries to pull a fast one. He says, "Hey, Joe Louis is a wrestler now. He's going to wrestle on my show." Joe Louis is 41 years old. The D.C. Boxing Commission says he's got to wrestle. He can't buy. Like, he's got to wrestle. If you're booking him as a wrestler, he's got to wrestle. And then he goes, but Joe Louis still gave a right knockout punch to Rocky Don Lee's jaw. McMahon's getting his athletes from Toots Mont. Mont now is running. Look, the Manhattan booking agency went under, so now he's running the Manhattan Wrestling Enterprises.
just all you do is just file some paperwork and you're right back where you started.
Fabiani's getting his wrestlers from Al Haft in Columbus. Al Haft seems to always crop up when people are breaking rules. It always seems like, hey, yeah, Al Haft gave me the wrestlers. Al Haft doesn't give a shit what's going on. He's just out in Columbus, Ohio, living his best life. That's what it seems to be. Larry, you familiar with Al Haft?
You asked me that last week. No, I don't know anything about this man.
Dude, every time somebody's like, I was breaking the rules.
That's Columbus, brother. That's not Cleveland.
Okay, so he's in Columbus. What was he in the biggest house on the hill? He's just going, yeah, I'll lend you my wrestlers. I don't give a fuck. Sam,
Yeah, I don't know.
Never
I don't
gives him
know
any
what this-
problems. Sam's never like, dude, you're giving wrestlers again. Let's see, McMahon. Oh, so then they talk about McMahon does a thing where he's going to put on he's going to put his best wrestlers on, and he's going to give you the main event, right? And he's going to say, you're going to come to watch this shit. That was not the thing. It was about talking people into the arena. He's going, look, we're going to give you the biggest show you've ever seen on TV. And then they'll want to see it in person. He's big on the baby faces, heels, very hard line. You're very good and you're very bad. He loves the Nazis at this time. The Nazis are the bad guys. Imagine that. They love it over at the Tumont. They love it. And so they're airing Capital Wrestling from Washington, D.C. in New York. Got it? That's big for old McMahon, okay? Tim writes, Toots Mont was the crown prince of disorder and mismanagement, which is like, tell me more. Because the ponies? Yes. But he's obsessed with being like the guy in Madison Square Garden. He's like, if I could just crack New York. But remember the Johnstons? That whole family? Sir Charlie Johnston is still the promoter in Madison Square Garden.
I don't remember them.
They're always just hanging around. They're always just like there as like, we book the wrestling here. Even though it's been dead for years now. They come, they go. So, they're not booking well. There's not a lot of people showing up in 1955. And this is where McMahon enters the picture, and this is where I wrote, finally, page 135 of a 230-page book bounce. We have Vince McMahon taking control. Johnston and Mont. Okay, here we go. Because of their TV programming airing in New York, they're like, we'll take control. Our TV show's popular from DC, right? The only disappointment of 10,000 people showing up at the Garden on November 26th, 1956, was that Vern Gagne didn't show up. They were ready for it. So the McMahon playbook, as has been stated before, is a variety of performers. All kinds. You got Schmidt, Nazi. You got Mr. Moto from Japan. You got Miguel Perez from Puerto Rico. Skull Murphy from Cork, Ireland. There you go.
In the bathroom.
The Bruiser's name from Reno, Nevada. The Cowboy Rocket Lee's from Texas. You know, everybody's got their gimmick, and then they're from town. And I did think about how when I was a kid, I used to be obsessed where people were billed from.
Yep.
That told you all you needed to know. No video packages, Brian Alvarez. Oh, parts unknown? Oh, so he's crazy. Okay.
If he's from Hyannisport, as Ted DiBiase was billed, then I knew he was a rich guy.
Yes. Texas, Brawler, California, Surfer. We got it.
Shaker Heights.
He's Shia LaBeouf. He's battling for him.
University of Michigan.
Steiners. University. Clotheslines.
Steiner lines, not close
Steiner
lines.
line. Yeah, that's true. Steiner line. And so, yeah, there it is. He just says, McMahon was like, look, we'll have a big top leading good guy, top leading bad guy, and then a bunch of colorful characters underneath, right? Toots working his 5-minute comedy match. He's not, I mean, he's 60 at this point. But that was like even his dad. His dad is in his ear going, you gotta have some comedy.
Hey, Toots, funny don't make money.
You know, Toots' comedy match. Cowboys, pretty boys, high flyers.
Toots is just kind of like a pathetic loser, isn't he?
His comedy was he's trying to bet on the match while the match is going on. He's filling out the
Like,
guy
how are
keeps
you
rolling.
getting into so much legal trouble?
I mean, he's just straight up taking money. Remember, he wasn't paying guys in Los Angeles.
He's looking at a guy that just drove 600 miles, and he's like, "What if I take this 20? I bet
Like he's 20.
I bet it 3 to 1 on Jesse's girl. Okay, if it comes back, I pay you. I made the bet, right? So I get a majority, but you make $25.
But there's a $5 processing fee, so I think it's 20.
Also, to be fair, I am going to the horse track to make the bet. So, New York, 1956. People are kind of mad at McMahon. He's just getting a TV deal. You know, he's just all of a sudden he's the king of New York. Tim writes, quarreling was commonplace and fragile egos got the better of those in charge. I mean, I can't believe it. Now why was Vincent McMahon so drawn to Toots Mont, this old ass dude?
Because
He's like Paul Heyman.
He's a pathetic, easily controllable gopher.
Well, yeah, they do say that too, that he's like his in-between. So he polices the locker room. That way, you know, Vince
That's
doesn't
what
have
he
to do
says. He is a layer. And I wrote, they should just call WWE, you know how they call them WWE Stooges? They should just call them Tootses. Pat Patterson was a Tootses. This is the first Stooge. This is the first guy that's just like, the in-between, the talent relationship.
You know, Vince Sr. loved me, man, but Toots had it out for me.
Yes.
That's what they'd be saying.
There's the Toots position in the back.
McMahon had an ally in Newark, New Jersey, of Willie Gilzenberg.
He becomes a player.
Yeah. He stood by his friends. His word was his bond. Wasn't interested in gambling, nightlife, or random shenanigans. Family man, sportsman. McMahon clicked with him instantly. So, okay, the Department of Justice is looking into the National Wrestling Alliance in 1956. Let's see. They wanted to do a federal court in Des Moines, Iowa. He talks about the NWA. They're influential. They're paying everybody, senators, representatives, other officials. So basically, what it came down was the government was like, "Look, you guys cannot do this thing that you're doing where the territory is exclusive. Okay, you cannot do that." And then the alliance just was like, "We hear you, we see you, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing." They changed their, in writing, they changed their, look, we're changing our bylaws. We understand. Okay.
Yeah, bylaws.
And this is where I wrote, Tim is almost painting Vince McMahon as taking down a corrupt organization. Like these guys, he's writing it. The NWA's look at the U.S. government comes to him and says, "You
He
guys
was
are
working for the FBI."
And they're going, yeah, we'll do that. Wink. Thank God for Vince McMahon to come in there and break all this shit up. So, TV. Okay, so Chapter 9, Capitol becomes Capital. Got it? 1950s, TV, boom. Okay, wrestling, great. Antonino Rocca, household name. Got it? He's wowing audiences with his somersaults and flips. I think we would call that a spot monkey now, correct? Jim Cornette would be making YouTube videos about him. William Muldoon, if he were alive, was going, not how I used to do it. So, Tim says it didn't get any bigger than Argentina Rocca. Although born in Italy, did we?
Yeah, we talked about this.
I know. Later, he was not, or he was, or what?
He was born in Italy.
Yeah.
It's our Argentinian parents.
He spent most of his years in Rosario, Argentina. The Puerto Ricans loved him. They adopted him. No city in America embraced a wrestler like New York did Rocca. Okay, so he's the #1 headliner in Madison Square Garden.
I think he was like a shoeless guy, if I remember correctly. You know what I
Shit.
mean? Like a
Yeah. Tim
wild-
Hornbaker's like Joe Jackson
Like speedball.
with the kicks, the educated feet. They need Jim Ross to go out there and call Speedball's feet educated.
You don't want to know what Jim Ross thinks about speedball.
It's like, maybe we get a haircut that's complimentary.
Where do you think speedball played college ball?
Picturing Jim Ross's face if like Speedball told him like I played tennis in college. I mean, he makes it up, but like Jim Ross just staring through him. Okay.
Why are you telling me this, son?
Jim Ross watching when Speedball does like the fast kicks. Just staring.
You're right,
See.
because Bill Watts would have thrown Speedball out of the locker room like Will Smith's friend in Fresh Prince gets thrown out of the house.
Andy Jeff?
Bill Watts would never allow a, what do you call a person from Quebec? A Quebecois?
Quebecois. Yeah.
Quebecois?
Uh,
A Quebecan?
he talks about Vern and Hunchman, and you know they're doing buku numbers. Miguel Perez is 19 and 57. They're drawing big gates. We're talking $60,000. But then the Dumont Saturday Night program gets canceled in Chicago. The dueling champions of Nomalini and says that's not going well. That injures his ankle at 56. And now it's Whipper Billy Watson. Just nothing's working. And they go, what if we have dual champions? Which is like a thing that just did not work out. And they want Edouard Carpentier. Two, and again, the idea is two rival champions. Let's see. So, whatever. Oh, also, why you don't see Vern's name coming up is because remember, Lou is like anybody but Vern, and so they're looking outside of Vern. His name does not come up. Like, yeah, they'll give it to this other guy.
I love how steadfast Lou is like anybody but Vern.
Yeah, he's as he like kind of hinted at was like, I wouldn't call it bitterness. I don't know what it is, but Lou says did not like Vern, and he was like apparently he was a cult. He will not be champion from like that's just not happening.
Did like Vern make a pass at his wife? Like, what is?
What is it? Because Lou's looking at him and going, "Oh, an Olympic alternate. You think you're so fucking hot."
Vern fought the Nazis. What did you ever do, Vern? I think he might have been in Korea. The silent one. Yeah.
Taking out the trash. I say that because that's what my grandfather did in Korea. He's a
How many bottles were in the trash?
I remember. Okay, so he died, and then there was a bunch of pictures of him, and he had made like there was a little like attaché with him, a Korean guy, and I was like, this guy looks like he's like was like my grandfather's best friend. I'm gonna find this guy. It was one of those things. There was like so many pictures of them taking out the trash and being like, I promise you, my grandfather's just amused by this, like pointing at him, being like, look at this guy, isn't he fun? And then that guy probably like, what? Who is this hillbilly from the Midwest? I was like, God, man, I need to find this family and be like, they were thick as thieves over there on that base, just pointing at each other like, look at this. Sam Muchnick, he's got the Department of Justice thing. On
He's
his
not, but he's not connected. We should probably point out.
Yes.
Yes.
Make it
Irvin or Irwin was like, not mobbed. Read my lips. Not mobbed up. He's writing. Some promoters are writing congressmen and senators, being like, "Are you sure about this whole? I can't run the whole territory thing."
Could you imagine like having to like publicly defend your father and state that he has no mob connections? That would just be wild.
I love that in that thing. He's like, "Did my uncle brush up against mob people?" Yes.
Who amongst us hasn't?
But was he mobbed up? No. Did everything seem very mob adjacent? Yes. Let's see. Sam's complaining about things like mail-in votes. And he wants to shore up revenue outside of his 4% from booking the champion.
So you're trying to say Anthony, Tony Lapp, Lopapero might have been at the matches and doing some business with Sam Muchnick, St. Louis crime boss in the 1950s.
He definitely had a meeting with Sam and was like, how can we bring this thing in?
There's gotta be a picture of him like front center table, like at wrestling at the Chase, like enjoying a nice spaghetti.
All right.
I know a guy, Bruno. Young kid. You'll love him.
I bet the Chase had an awesome red sauce.
So then Lou Thez basically tells Sam, I'm going to go over and tour in Australia. And then Sam's not happy about it, but he goes along. He's like, this will be good for the NWA. And they go, well, okay, so if he's going to Australia, we got to put the title on somebody else. And we'll make him agree that when Lou comes back, he'll get the title back. So they go with Carpentier, managed by Eddie Quinn. You'll never believe this, but this kind of blows up. So Jim Barnett is signed the booker for Carpentier. So and then he beats Thez by disqualification. But then they do this thing. This is one of those things where it's like, what are we doing? Is this real or not real? He's telling the NWA, he's like, hey, tell when you promote this guy as champion, say, you know, he won by, you know how we all have the rule that we shouldn't book that you get a title by disqualification? Well, he won by disqualification, but he isn't really the champion. It's like, why are you even doing this? This is that wrestling thing of like, you make the rules and then immediately you're like, how do we get out of this? What if we just break the rules that we're doing? Does this make sense, Larry? Larry's laughing.
I have an unfortunate digression. I mean, it's fortunate.
Okay.
Show related.
Okay.
Now, I was doing a search on Sam. I'm going to show you how I got here because it's an amazing place how I got here. And it's going to direct us where we're going.
Yeah.
I was searching for the Mafia and Sam Muchnick. I know you said you had found one thing about it.
Irwin, where he's like, repeat after me.
Irv. It's Irv.
Irvin. Yeah. Irwin. Steve Irwin. Irvin.
Remember this guy?
Yes, from the
Donnie
Donnie
show. You said
Yes.
Patterson propositioned him.
Yes.
He wrote a book with Scott Teal, known wrestling writer, called The Mat, the Mob, and the Music. And I think we're going to read it next.
Is this what Urban was talking about? So Mushnick is like, hey, don't you know how we made that rule? Well, this is what we're doing now. They're doing the two claimants thing. He's got a claim. He's saying he's champion. Luthez is still champion. They have a convention in St. Louis, August 23rd. Like, this is why a lot of guys were part of that. Could you imagine Gus just sitting down at the bar?
Mm-hmm. Well, remember the convention is when Von Erich got his kids the hookers because he was in Vegas.
They have a convention in Acapulco here soon. Their vacations, St. Louis, not a vacation spot, but okay. Sitting at the bar. With what are we, bookers or promoters? What are we talking about?
Stu's there.
Stu's there licking his lips. Hey guys, what if we all lined up and wrestled me? Tried to take me down at the end of the bar. And they're like, Stu, you're so hard right now. We can see it. Quinn's always there. Quinn is this Eddie Quinn guy from Montreal. He's at every meeting. He's everywhere coming down from Montreal. It's at the Claridge Hotel there in St. Louis. And they come there to tell stories, have some meetings, work things out. Joke around a little bit.
It's the co-op in The Wire.
Yeah. Then he sees Jack motherfucking Pfeffer, that fucking carny with his fucking Carnival Freak Show. And he's not a member of the NWA. The fuck? He was also the guy that fucking told everybody wrestling was fake. And that is enough for Eddie Quinn to go, fuck this, I'm out. And he fucking quits the NWA. And then I wrote, there has to be more. He just literally walked into the hotel and saw Jack Pfeffer.
It's bizarre. Yeah.
And it was like,
I thought too.
Bullshit. And then this guy goes, because this guy also is the guy behind Carpenter, who they made the champion. So again, yeah, this seems to be more because he goes, that guy, that human being is my personal property. Okay, so technically, I own the title. It's mine now. And he had paid, part of this deal was that they were like, give us $10,000. It's just, we know that he will play ball. And so now he's saying, give me my money back. I'm not playing ball. Which is so...
it's such a stupid business.
You
just keep learning it over and over again. At one point, Thez does the same thing. It's like, it says he was tired of all the egos and, backroom dealings. I'm like, everybody is. We're all...
Everybody. Toots is like... His mind is mush from all the years of it. So then they... Carpenter misses 3 bookings. And then Mushnick goes, well, what did you guys lose out of that? Is that like $10,000? Could we then say that that's what you guys get paid? And then finally they have a special meeting. The NWA is like, should we pay this man money that he gave us? Should we give it back to him? And they go, yes, give it back to him. So that's when Mushnick, the amount of bulletins he sends out in this book at this point, constantly sending out memos and bulletins to the members. I don't know if it's on Telegram or what it is, but he's going, Luthez is the champion again. Don't worry about it. Forget any of the other stuff happened. He's the champion. Okay? Another disqualification. Disqualified the last disqualification. Still champion. Okay. And also, and I don't like that Tim Hornbaker did this. He writes, Luthez is the champion as recognized by the National Wrestling Alliance. He declared in all caps. It's not in all caps in the book. And that's a missed opportunity. So, Vincent McMahon is out there. Vincent McMahon. And Toots is out there. But Toots is the NWA. He's in the NWA. He's a due-paying member. And they are going to do, what is it? Luthez. When Carpenter, he's grabbing him as a known entity and booking him against Raka, and they're drawing, right? But you know what they're doing? 25 minutes, called a draw at the 11 p.m. curfew. Cool.
That's not short shit.
19,165 people watched them wrestle to their curfew. You guys got to go. Match over.
It's the unions.
11 p.m.,
It's
folks.
time and a half after 11.
Guys just somersaulting around, and they're like, you guys have been here for 25 minutes.
Shoo!
One guy says, achoo. So they do a then Carpenter wrestles Killer Kowalski to a curfew draw. At what point in 1957, 56, are you like, if they do a motherfucking curfew fucking draw again, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
You run in nowadays, you know what I mean?
But they're not going like, guys, we've been here long enough. You know what time it is. You guys got to go home. Lights out, folks.
Well, it was a work thing. Are you
Somebody's
saying
looking at their watch and like, well, no. So he's looking at their watch and going, my God, they wrestled exactly to their curfew.
Yeah.
I think they're I think they're flickering the lights and going,
No,
folks,
they're not. They just ring the bell usually, and the announcer says that. I mean, I've seen them.
Yeah, it's worse than a time limit draw. It's such horseshit because like it'll come out of like seemingly nowhere. And
I think there's some on Coliseum tapes, like up through the 80s, they were doing it.
and then like and then sometimes you'll have like the main event though in the middle of the card. Like it's so
Yeah.
at least the matches are getting shorter. 25 minutes. I'm like, okay. Not like previously it was they wrestled for 2 hours and then
yeah, we're getting to a reasonable.
Fans rioted because the match only went 7 minutes.
yes. The guy drop kicked another guy and it was called off after 7 minutes and then they went, what the fuck is this? I'm supposed to be here till curfew. My kid is fucking drunk. He's so fucking drunk right now.
I don't want to see my wife in the sunlight. I did some shameful things.
Raka and is tag teaming. There's tag teams. They're very successful. Except then, all of a sudden, they're okay. So Raka and Carpenter are facing Dick the Bruiser and Dr. Jerry Graham. Well, then Raka and Graham keep going after the bell rung. Oh my God. And then that devolves into a riot. The fans are losing their fucking minds. Over 24 officers are called. The 4 wrestlers are fined by the commission. McMahon is strengthening himself in the Northeast. And part of that is looking at Toots and going, okay, what do you do for me? And this is where he says, Mont was focused on harness racing. I wrote Tim. Harness. Have you ever heard horse racing referred to as harness racing?
Well, he liked that specific kind.
Okay, fine.
We have a place like that around here.
I'm just ready for the him just to call it the pony.
It's lower class stuff. You know
I
what
love
I mean?
it. That's such detail that makes it just so much more degenerate. I feel like
It is. Yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
that's like a step above dog, but barely.
Toots is betting on how close like the rabbit gets to the carrot. He's betting on that. He's getting intricate.
He would be in on prop bets if he was around.
Yes.
Today.
Oh yeah, he's getting into the really weird stuff.
Toots promoting DraftKings. And Tim writes, for every misstep and every disturbance Toots caused, there was ample benefits to having the big guy around. And this is where he talks into, look, he was the manager for Rocco, okay? So he's got his ear. He can handle Cola Quariani. He's basically head of talent relations. He's the go-but. All these people know him over the years, and he can handle them. And again, Tim writes often. He's got a big personality. He kind of like is overbearing. People are washed away in the tootsness of it all.
Oh, like gorilla.
Is Toots the original gorilla? Do Toots and gorilla have any interactions? Will we find out?
I would think so.
So McMahon calls up Johnny Doyle, Los Angeles. So, and Toots worked with him, so that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Doyle's anti-NWA. Okay. He sees this as an opportunity. He moves his whole family to Washington, D.C. So now we got McMahon, Toots, and Doyle. Right? They're going to create Capital Wrestling Corporation. August 1st, 1957. Now, this is very WWE-ish, where it's like, Toots didn't have the money to do all this at the time. But he's important to Vince. So they have Philip Zacco from Pennsylvania. He's going to have Toots' shares, and then when Toots has the money, he'll buy him. Here's the breakdown. Vince McMahon and Toots Mondt each own 42% of the company, 1,000 shares. Doyle holds the other 16. And this is how, in a newspaper, in the Washington Post and Times Herald, this is how Vince described Mondt. He's the contact man who oversees the entire operation. A sort of manipulator. Doyle is matchmaker, vice president, and treasurer. Vincent McMahon is president. They have 16 wrestlers. It grows. And again, it's 2 top stars, everybody underneath, colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestlers are paid to scale of where they are drawing. Rocca is splitting his money between Toots and Quariani.
Well, right, isn't Quariani running opposite in New York?
Kind of, yeah. And they're constantly they're fighting him and also bringing, like, they're working with him to a degree. Isn't he a worker also? He was a former worker. Eventually, they get up to 36 wrestlers. And their 40 club circuit goes from Virginia to Maine. McMahon is receiving 60% of the gate. And then from that, he's paying the wrestlers, which again is by drawing power. Tim says the payouts were fair, so morale is decent. He says good, but I don't believe that.
Please, we know which side Tim falls on.
It's better than what Toots was doing, which was scooping up that gate and going over for the harness racing. What if I double it?
Harness racing. God. What a life, man. Just collecting the gate and going to the horses.
You know, I used to sell hot dogs in this arena. Okay.
It's such a pain in the ass.
He cuts back over to Madison Square Garden. Charlie Johnston, he's got final say. He is not going to give up that matchmaking job over. He's not doing it. But he can't get this. Remember, the whole thing is he can't get stars now because there's like a vice grip on talent. And so he makes a compromise. Okay, I'll work with Capital so I can get some talent. Now, and this is where I wrote, no! We go back over what's going on with the National Wrestling Alliance. Luthez wants to drop the belt. As Larry said, he's fed up with NWA members. The politicking, the egos, the complaints about his fees, his accommodations. Luthez is staying at the nice places, and somebody, because Al Haft in Ohio is going, does he have to stay at that? I mean, are we really paying for him?
Aloysius Thez you're talking about.
That's going to cut into my 4%.
And
I'm trying to get that bumped up to 5, and Thez is wanting cotton pillows.
he wants a king bed. It's one man.
How many chicken dinners?
Also, Luthez insists on Ed Stringler Lewis being on the payroll. This guy's so old. What in the fuck is...
As of the workers' rights, he's getting a pension plan for the guys that came before him.
Luthez going up to these guys in the NWA at the St. Louis, at the Claridian Hotel. Look, guys, we don't have a pension. We don't have a retirement fund. What are we doing?
We gotta look out for each other here. We gotta get each other on the payroll.
They're rubbing their chin going, seems unnecessary. Poor Stringler Lewis can barely walk. I was wrestling 2-hour draws for you guys. Now, and Luthez's relationship with Sam Muchnick had soured. Mainly because of the 2.5% that Muchnick was receiving for every book getting made. And I remember Muchnick was also making, was it 4% of something? 4% of every booking in general or something like that?
God, I would love to see how much money this actually is annualized, because it feels like they're just fighting over fucking scraps.
They are. If he's paid, what would a Luthez be paid for a show? If it's drawing, let's say it's drawing $200,000. They're just gonna look it up. He's gonna get paid.
Luthez payoff.
If he's getting paid, wasn't like Ric Flair in the 80s being paid like $3,000 or something like that? So it's got to be less than that.
There's some, Paul Bosch ones I've seen.
So if he's making, let's say Luthez is making 1,000, then he's got to give 6% to Sam. He's also got to pay his $100 due to the NWA. Then he's also got to pay, I think, who? The promoter?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like they're just shuffling money around.
Is he taking $300 home? Is he taking $500 home? Plus, he's probably. You got it.
I have one from 1977 AWA. So the show brought in $81,000.
Yeah.
How much does the talent get?
5% of it.
Yeah, it's 25%.
Well, total of okay.
But that's still
pretty generous.
It's half of where it should be, but well, okay. So 81,000. What did Dick the Bruiser make? He was number one.
Oh, he made 81,000. He cleared, let's say 12,000, 12,500.
Oh,
No.
2,000.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, no, yeah, I'm sticking with my 3,000.
Yeah,
That was
talents.
in the 80s.
Talents. Yeah, there's. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't see, but there's probably 25 guys on here because it's 8 I'm sure they had a fucking battle royal. So then
That's what
Vern's
Tim
at
is
20.
like.
Vern also 2,300. Wilbur fucking Snyder, 1,300. That's like the Strangler Lewis position. Just getting money for being alive. Nick Bockwinkel, 1,700. Bobby Heenan gets $1,000.
oh, good for Bobby.
Let's see who's lowest here. Jose Lothario, $150.
That's too much. Let's get down to 25.
And he was paid the same amount for managing Shawn Michaels. They're like, "What's your going rate?" And he's like, 1,500. I made that.
Look, 8x10s, the convention circuit. You'll be doing great. I believe in you. Super suck.
Lou Thez gets to decide who he's going to drop the title to. This isn't going to come down to the board. Muchnick agreed with him, though. You know, Lou Thesz's mentality was, it's got to be not Vern, by the way, not Vern. It's got to be a real wrestler. It's got to be somebody with my style. Not Vern, just to be clear, not Vern. And Sam sends out one of his great memos, bulletins to the other members and goes, I agree. You know, people have forgotten about the fundamentals. Ugh. We're supposed to be wrestlers. So it's going to be Dick Hutton. So that's what happens. Dick Hutton wins against Thez, 1957. And then Mushnick sends out a bulletin. Dick Hutton is unquestionably the champion of the world. Da, 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 da. So Thez is done, and he's elated. And guess what? Hutton is a bust. There it is. Hutton's it's not good. And then back to Madison Square Garden. Fans were like, "Whoa, there was a riot here not that long ago." And they're still working it. Rock and Perez, tag team champions, they're drawing in some crowds. NWA is looking at the Garden. They're going, wait a minute, they're making money. And they're not actually within the organization. And also, Toots is booking Dick Hutton, but not calling him the world title holder. And so they want to punish Toots. And Toots just says, I'm sorry. Outside factors kept me from doing that. And it seems like Sam's whole thing is just like that he likes Toots. And so he's like, all right. You know what? You're good. Yeah. Mushnick, Tim Rice, Mushnick considered him a mentor. So, like, Toots just endears himself to certain people and just rides that wave. Other people in the NWA is like, pretty sure Toots has favoritism with Sam. Okay. Johnny Doyle leaves in 1958, Capitol Wrestling to become Paul Bowser in Boston. He's still around. And they're going to do a new wrestling program. Okay, so they talk about that. I mean, there's just a lot of TV stuff, TV shows come. Basically, people are encroaching on Vincent McMahon's television programming. And he's like, what the fuck? Rudy Dusek dies. In 1971, we've like flashed all the way forward to 1971. Buffalo natives Don Curtis and Mark Lewin show up. I mean, I'm trying. Okay, so
At least we're getting names we know now. I mean, with Mark Lewin and shit.
Basically, all these guys are trying to get like wrestling TV going, but it's in the way of what Vince McMahon already had set up, and so he doesn't have like the pure on the one wrestling show coming out of DC airing in New York, and he's trying his best to stay relevant. So he's adding a second show to WNEW from Knights of Columbus Hall in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He's letting Joe Smith, a family friend, run the show. Which way? He said Joe Smith is a valued family friend from the 1910s. I went, how old is Joe Smith? Holy shit! Is he talking to his dad? And just is like, I got the guy for the Bridgeport shows. He's fucking ancient, but fucking. Pfeffer's still hanging around. He's got the Amazing Zuma, which I put into YouTube. Amazing Zuma. You're only going to get sumo wrestlers coming back to you. You might get one result. And basically, Pfeffer's doing his thing of like, you've got Rocca from Argentina. I got this guy from Argentina. So
I'm looking up Vern.
Yeah.
And Gus is right. He is a vet. He was in World War II.
Oh,
you know what's crazy? He was in the Navy. You know what unit he was with? Underwater demolition. That's Jesse's.
That's right. Yeah, it was the original Frogman.
And Hulk Hogan beat him up.
I wonder if he inspired Jesse to.
Goddamn. Okay, so thank you for the service, Vern.
Yeah. You might have killed a man in your older years, but it wasn't the first time, probably.
In his younger years too. Was he like an Iwo Jima? Like, where did he?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up if he ever talked about it. It doesn't say.
That's why he was so mad about Jesse leaving the AWA, because he's like, we used to talk about what happened.
Swimming up and planting a bomb on a boat.
When did Vern die? Did he get to see Predator? Did he get to see Jesse in movies? And he was
it was after 9/11, but
it was.
Wait a minute. Vern died after 9/11?
2015.
Wow, he did see 9/11. Vern Gagne watching the
tower.
towers.
Wow, we got to see Obama get elected. I wonder how he felt about that.
Did he talk to Jesse about Jeff?
No, you know, he would not have seen Obama get elected.
Oh, that's right.
He was gone by then mentally, because 2009 is when he kills the guy.
Okay,
so he might have seen it, but he can't. Can't put one and one together. He thinks he's in some kind of like fugue state.
He went into a fugue state with George W. Bush, and that's who he'll remember for eternity.
Oh no, that's his president forever.
Yep.
Watch us drive.
I mean, the end of the chapter is as Tim going. All these guys are kind of going, New York's kind of good now. What if I'm taking over? That's it. That's what he writes. I'm sure. I mean, look. 3 more episodes. Maybe 2. Unless you want to keep going. I doubt you do, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're asking me? No. I gotta go. I was gonna butt in like 10 minutes ago.
It's fine. We're good. Okay.
Sorry, I was in a fugue state.
And next week is Vince McMahon pulls Fred Kohler out of the fire, and what else happens?
Yeah, I didn't know Vince went west to Chicago. That was actually the last shit I read today. That's when stuff it's kind of picking up now because we're fucking moving and.
Yeah.
Again, it's names I know and
Monopoly charges.
That fucking Rogers O'Connor match. You gotta watch that. It's so fucking good. I just wanted to be in the headspace of the early '60s.
Yeah, we're having Bruno shows up finally. A young Bruno.
Because I was trying to think, what's the earliest New York stuff you can watch, Gus? There isn't much, is there?
That's on the
Or
network.
anywhere.
I think the earliest it's on the network is like 79 or 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Anybody? Okay, that's yeah. Goodbye. Okay.
You know, they had an NXT nostalgia night.
Oh,
Yeah, Homecoming.
how did Ricky
All the
start?
greats.
Is Tony fumbling?
I don't. I seemed like
You're
more
talking about-
time was paid to the former stars than the current stars.
Sami Zayn, who's the exact same age as Ricky Starks. You could be where I am in 10 years when you're 46.
After you pay your dues, yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Tony fumbled. Yep. Goodbye.
I won't get into it. I'm not gonna get it. I mean, okay. Goodbye. Yeah. It's Wilson again. That was fun. I bet it was the best episode ever. You know what you can do to help the workers out? Rate, review, all that good stuff on whatever app you're listening to. Tell us how much you love us. If you want to contact us, it's theworkersclubshow@gmail.com. We got a YouTube, The Workers Club Podcast, a Blue Sky, theworkersclub.org, and we have a Discord where the invite link is left in various places. I'm sure you can find it. That's it. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Bye.
Smile and love each other.